Well, hello, Cookbook Love family. I am Declan DeWitt-Hall. This is my beloved spouse, Suzanne.
Hello.
We are here for our Friday live chat and are you ready? I'm going to do a drum roll for you for the cookbook
of the week. But first, I have to talk about my chapeau here. I don't remember if I mentioned it last week. I know I posted a picture to tell you that I had found my vintage hat collection. So I thought I would start with an extremely fancy little number. See the flower, bigger flowers on top, small, and I figured I'd just go way over the top with the pink floral today, and it goes with the Mother's Day theme back there. But when we moved, so I've got what do I have? I've got a vintage hat collection. It's not too huge. Vintage aprons, cookbooks, and I decided a while ago I wanted to wear one of my vintage hats each week, but I couldn't find them because they had been in storage when we moved. And when all that stuff that was in storage got moved to our house, I couldn't find them. But look what happened.
Ta-da!
I found them and I am so happy. So this is your fancy, fancy, fancy little hat to go along with our cookbook.
I want to know if you're going to add aprons to it, because you have
quite
a vintage apron collection.
You know, these videos, we've got our new camera finally arrived, people. So we'll see how that affects things next week. But
we're hoping it'll be better.
You know, aprons wouldn't show. I'd have to do a whole little fashion show or something.
A little Vanna White stand up.
But you never know. They
may
make an appearance.
What do we got?
Okay, today we are doing Campbell's. The one we're going to specifically talk about is this little beauty. It's called a Campbell's Cookbook. Easy ways to delicious meals. 465 quick to fix recipes using Campbell's convenience foods. Now, you'll notice that there is this style. You might very well have one in your own kitchen, your own collection. They're the same size here. The one we're going to be talking about this week is from 1967. This one is from 1970. This one is from 1975, but we're going to focus on 1967. And there's the picture. This picture is a little bit disturbing. Sorry, you're getting some glare there from the window, but look at those sort of can-shaped, it's not exactly gelatinous, but it's pretty borderline gelatinous with that red gloop. I'm assuming is tomato soup. So that's the front cover. And then the back cover has these jaunty little, so it's a can, probably the Campbell's item there is the beans, pork and beans or something. And then looks like some Spam and cheese, little, what do you call those things? Little skewers on top of your pot-o beans. So that's the cover. What else are we going to show you here? There's some brightly colored illustrations, and then there are some hand drawings again, kind of like this last one that we did. Like this felt little couple. This is the section you can tell on low-calorie dishes, because there they are next to a scale, both looking so slim and happy. So there's both kinds of illustrations there. These are the opening pages with, the many changing faces of Betty. Is that Betty Crocker? No, that's Carolyn Campbell. Look,
wow.
I did not even know there was a Betty Crocker of the Campbell's world, but apparently they had their own version of her.
We're going to have to share some information about all that this week.
We're going to have to look that up. And she is saying to you and I right now, to all the modern, young thinking cooks who enjoy using convenience foods and quick, easy recipes to make family meals more tempting, party meals more exciting, and their own lives more satisfying. So we can look forward to having a more satisfying life this week, simply by checking out this cookbook. And it starts out, this is a new kind of cookbook for a new kind of cook. It makes the most of a new kind of food supply. They're very fond of the phrase, a new kind. Convenience foods, half of which didn't exist some 15 years ago. So this is one of the things that's cool about this cookbook, is that it is highlighting the shifts that were happening in society at the time. So this is starting into the latter half of the 60s. More and more women were kind of holding down jobs and holding down their households too, and being in charge of everything. So convenience foods were making a major
I would think they would have been essential.
Yeah.
With the time restrictions.
Well, speaking of time restrictions, this says you only need to spend an average of 90 minutes a day in the kitchen as compared with the 5 hours your mother used to.
Gosh, my mother did that?
Did you,
I don't think so.
90,
My mother
even
worked.
90 minutes though?
Maybe my grandmother?
I don't think I spend 90 minutes in the kitchen.
I think you do.
Do you? Every
Yeah.
day?
You sing at least 10 songs. How many
Well, I
minutes
do.
is that?
I think they're like 3 minutes
Kitchen
each,
is your
but
happy place.
I repeat myself a lot, so.
This is going to be an interesting week because I have fond memories of Campbell soup, and I don't know. I'm curious if Campbell soup is as much a staple in other countries as it is in ours, because it's something that I've kind of grown up
Got a
on.
few international followers. Maybe they can comment.
Maybe they
on
can
that.
comment and tell us, because growing up, I think I learned how to cook using condensed Campbell soups. To make chicken dishes or tuna fish casserole. So
Yep.
this is kind of a blast from my past, and
Absolutely.
we still use it.
Which
You don't
makes
use
sense
it as
because
much,
it's 1967,
right?
right? So that's when you were a little baby child. So here, this is a picture of Frankfurter Crown Casserole. We've seen some Frankfurter Crown roasts before, but this is a Crown Casserole where you've got some split hot dogs and some kind of soupy vegetable mix there in the middle. We'll get you that recipe later this week.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like vanilla wafers.
I know. I thought it looked like a dessert as well. What I want to show you on this
What else you
page
got?
is just a whole page, a whole section that says take a can of beans. So it's a whole section on how to zhuzh up canned
Your
beans.
bean dishes?
Yep. And then this was interesting. This section is all about taking frozen foods. It's called Good Dinners with Ease, Swanson Frozen Dinners a la carte. So it's telling you how to take these frozen entrees or TV dinners or different things and make different dishes. This is a lovely, it's called cicchetti. I'm guessing that was a canned spaghetti mixed with some stuff. It's in the frozen meal section, but I don't think it goes there. But
Well, look at that.
how
That's
about these
fantastic.
epic, iconic frozen meals? I feel like the frozen meals now look a bit more appetizing than these. What do you think? And is that red square in the front soup? Did they used to have soup in frozen dinners?
Huh.
And look, looks like the adults get a roll and butter. The kid gets cookies and a rocket ship, and that doesn't seem fair. Or maybe I'm assuming that's the kid's meal. Maybe that's.
Why isn't it fair? Which one do you want?
The spouses. Cookies? Well, yeah.
Yeah, I want the kids' meal.
And they put a face on it.
Well, and now they're much larger. Those looks like small portions compared to the Hungry Man.
It looks extremely flat. Look at the extreme flatness of that top tray. So how deep is that food? Yeah, I think all of this portion size have gone crazy though in the last few years. We
That's
really
true.
don't need quite that much. So this section on zhuzhing up the frozen is about the Swanson meat pies, little things that you can, it says Swanson meat pie flourishes, so you can flourish up your meat pies. And this one is this teenage girl just rushing off to breakfast or rushing off to school in the morning. She doesn't have time for breakfast. So this is a little recipe. It says little time or no appetite. Have breakfast in a hurry. And the recipe is called Club 15 drink. You start with a can of...
Oh, it sounds bad already.
A can of condensed tomato soup, a can of milk, and a little bit of cinnamon. You heat it up and you serve it, and that's what your teenager goes off to school on.
Oh my gosh, my teenagers would have rebelled.
I think so.
It wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been
No.
pretty.
No, I think it's the rare child who wants to drink
Tomato
tomato soup
soup?
with cinnamon
And with
before
milk?
school in the morning. Well, that's kind of like cream of tomato. A lot of people
I always
make their
mix
soup
it with water.
a lot of people. You guys can probably comment here if you're team
Team milk?
water versus team milk. Yeah.
I always did water. I don't know if I was poor. Maybe milk was
possible.
more expensive. I don't
Milk
know.
has
They
always
have
been
milk
a
around to
luxury.
use it.
Throw in some powdered milk
So
with your water.
there you have it.
That's the cookbook of the week. We'll be sharing it during cocktail hour with some pictures and some commentary and a little information probably about these terrific Swanson dinners. But yeah, tell us if you have your own version of this cookbook and what year it's from, because I'm guessing that it might be one of those books that came out every few,
Yeah, and
every 2 or 3 years.
We'll share about how many there are and more facts about the books themselves and the Campbell's Company and the soups. Please share your recipes, your fond memories, comment under the
Soup
post.
recipes.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of them out there. One of my favorite was a cream of chicken dish my mother made with rice that, you know, if she's on here, Mom, that was delicious. When I come again, make it. But, so there you have it. This is going to be the cookbook of the week. We hope that you have a great week and a fun time cooking, and Suzanne will be sharing all week long.
Yes, and you'll see a new hat next week.
Ta-da.
Don't be jealous.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye-bye.